Check this beauty out. 2003 Suzuki Quad Runner. Thing is completely beat on. Plastics are all broken. You got the classic duct tape seat. Oh, and then look at this. 2 different size back wheel tires on there. That is sweet. That adds 10 horsepower right there. Man, how does a machine get this bad? Cracked plastics everywhere. So, this one's pretty interesting. It was up for 400 bucks. Advertised as runs but does not move. I went there and picked it up for 250 bucks. The guy said he just wanted it gone. He doesn't know what's wrong with it. He said it was riding and driving fine. Then all of a sudden he went to go shift it. And he said it does not shift, go into gear. Comes with a winch. He said the winch does work. So we will see. It is 4x4, so that's nice. He said this never worked on it. This lever just doesn't do anything. So that could be the problem right there. Only one brake works, the front brakes, the rear brakes do not work. So yeah, this is today's project. We're gonna see if we can get this thing to shift and go into gear and work properly. Should be exciting. It's definitely a big project. Let's get this thing off the trailer, start digging into it, see what we find. Hopefully by the end of the video, we can get this thing to move. Alright, so check out the stance on this thing. Hopefully the transmission isn't wrecked because of the way the stance is here. You can see the one small wheel, one big back wheel. So that probably messed things up, I would guess. Not the best to run it that way, but could be something different, I guess. I don't know. We will find out today. But the back brakes don't work at all. I'm guessing the pads are bad back here, or the brake shoes, whatever is in there for brake pads. Let's see. Doesn't look too bad. It's got dual rear suspension here. It's missing the box lid back here. Looks like it's been sitting for a long time. Pipe doesn't look too bad. That's not all rotted out. That's good. Missing the side piece of plastic right here. It does have the original carb on there, which is nice. A little Keihin carb. Looks like there might be a slight leak right here on the valve cover. Let's see what else is wrong with this thing. Doesn't look like any major leaking or anything. Hey, look at this. We're making money. We're making money today. Quarter find. Oh yeah. Already starting to make money. What kind of winch is on here? Oh, it's got a worn winch. That's nice. 2,500 pound winch. And we'll find out if that works today. CV axles feel nice and tight. What was suspicious was this cover was off when I got there, and he quick put it back on. So I don't know what that was about. Kind of suspicious to me. But this whole cover was off, and he quick put that back on and put everything back together before I stepped out of the car here. So I don't know what he was doing in that area over here. Let's try to start this thing up. You can hear the solenoid clicking. Looks like neutral light does not work. I don't know if it is in neutral. That doesn't work. Might not be in neutral, I don't know. Let's try that. Yeah, nothing's working. There's only 2,427 original miles. He said that the speedo does work. So those are the accurate miles, which is really low. Yeah, but this is not working at all. Let's see. Get this seat off of here. See what's going on. Solenoid's just clicking. Is the battery on there tight? Yeah, that's not on there very tight. See that red wire? That was loose. I don't know if the battery's charged up or not. Let's see. Still nothing working. See if we cross the solenoid. Let's go get our voltmeter out, see if we have 12 volts going to the battery. Getting 12 volts. Well, what the heck? Maybe we're not in neutral? There we go. It's clicking now. Huh. From there to there, we're getting 12 volts. See if we're getting 12 volts when we hit this. Yep, we're getting 12 volts there. So the starter's out of it. So the seller said that the battery was dead, and that's why the starter wasn't working. So there's a lie right off the bat. You can hear it clicking. And when I touch positive to the wire going down to the starter, we're getting 12 volts to that wire, so we know that the starter's not turning over the engine, because the starter is getting 12 volts. So it's not the solenoid, it is in fact the starter. And I'll quick show you guys here so you can see what's up with it. See, click the button. 11.3 doesn't do anything, so that means the starter, which is right, that little guy right there, that's funny, that's so tiny. That little guy right there is either not getting a good connection or it's fried. Alright, pull start time. How many pulls? Oh yeah, she fired right up. So you can hear it sounds pretty decent. No rattling going on, no knocking. Pretty quiet machine. No leaking. Sounds really good. But when you try to shift it, he said nothing happens. Look at that, nothing. Doesn't move at all. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I don't know if the shaft is broken in there or what. But nothing happens. See if you wiggle it around a little bit. See if it goes into gear. Yeah, nothing. I believe that's the gear selector right there. So it goes down into here and goes right there. Huh. Well, runs good if it revs up. Sounds pretty good. No smoke out the back either. That is very strange. Does not move at all. Alright, both high and low work. That's great. Let's see if the winch is working. Alright, winch works great. Alright, we got this thing in the garage. It's like 100 degrees in here. So hopefully we can find the problem with the shifting and fix this right away. So, obviously there's a lot of stuff we need to fix. We're going to begin with the most important, which is the shifting. And then we'll work our way, to the plastics, to the starter, to the carb, to the oil change, and all that fun stuff after we get the main problem fixed. Which hopefully is simple. It could be a full engine rebuild, I don't know. You can see when I move the shifter, that lever actually does move, so the cable isn't the problem. So it is shifting internally, which kind of sucks. So let's get the plastics off and start digging into this thing. You can actually see there's a pin missing right in there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. That's really far. Right in there. See there, that hole is right there. There's a pin missing in there. That's supposed to bolt that to that so that moves. So I think if we get a bolt in there, that would fix that problem. Alright, we're going to start with the left-hand side here where the actual lever mechanism is. When you hear it shift, you can kind of feel like it isn't really grabbing anything. So I wonder if something's broken inside this cover. That's what we're gonna check first. So let's see how to get this cover off. I think the pull start mechanism comes off first, and we'll kind of go from there. Before we do that, let's check the oil. We're probably gonna have to drain the oil too to get this off. Let's see what the oil looks like. Looks like newer oil. Let's see here. Oh yeah, plenty of oil. Okay, oil doesn't look bad at all. Let's see if there's any metallic flakes in it. Not seeing anything. So that's good. Alright, finally found the drain plug here. It's kind of hidden because there is a skid plate. So way down here, I've got my socket on here right now. Let's see. There's my socket, and right underneath the socket, it's 21 millimeters, by the way. There's the bolt right there. Looks like somebody cut a hole in the skid plate to get that out. But there it is. That sucker was on there super tight. Alright, we've got the oil draining out. We'll have to see if there's any chunks in there. But it looked pretty black coming out of there, so we will see. Alright, as you can see, the oil is like straight up black. Hasn't been changed in a while. The guy said he did an oil change on it recently, but I think he may have just added oil to it and didn't drain it, because that drain bolt was on there so tight. So I don't think he changed the oil. Plus, it seemed weird that the top of the oil was nice and clear and then the bottom was all black. So almost like he added some. Plus the side cover was off when I got there, so I think he just topped it off with some fresh oil before I got there. But so far, no metallic flakes. Let's take a magnet and just dip in there and see if any metal chunks come up here. So far, we're good. Nothing else. Pretty clear. Yeah, nothing really. But oil checks out pretty good. Alright, now that the oil's drained, we can get this right side case cover off. One more. Alright, pull start mechanism. Alright, I cut away the bolts right here. So we got the footwell kind of bent underneath here. A little bit more room to work with now. So here is the speedo. Let's get that off of there. These two, I think. That just comes off like that. Tuck that underneath. Sounds like it's shifting on the other side here. I'm wondering if the shift shaft goes all the way through, now that I'm looking at it. I think it goes all the way through the other side. I don't know if there's any gears in here that shift it. I don't know. I think that's all for the starter gear. Comes up here, and there's gears in there for the starter. But I don't think there is a gear in there for the shifter. Let's quick take off the other side first and see if that belt's broken. And we'll see if the shift shaft goes all the way through, because I want to take off this side for nothing. So there's a belt underneath there. Let's first see if that's broken. That could definitely be the case. We have to get off all these bolts. Those are all locked onto there. Again, a little tuckaroo. At least we've got room to work now. All right, let's see if we can get this cover up. Hoping we don't need any special pullers for this thing. Probably do. I don't think it's the belt, because I feel like you'd hear the belt if it was broken. Maybe not. Maybe it's just shifting and not moving. That would be the best case scenario. Alright, are all the bolts off? Oh, there's one more. I think we have to take this one off to get that off. Bolts holding that on. There we go. That was a little bit better. Alright, that's out of the way. Wonder if this needs to come out too. We'll see. Alright, that was the last bolt. See if this cover can come off now. Oh yeah. Oh, no way. Guys, I think we found the problem. Holy cow. I can get this off of here. Look at the remnants of the belt. The belt is gone. She is gone. So, the belt completely chewed up. That was the problem, I think, hopefully. Alright, we'll have to see if this thing moves when we put it into gear. It means the belt just was not moving. Oh man, it's all tied up in there. Might have to take out the clutches. It's all wrapped. Alright, will this just pull right off? Oh yeah. Yes it will. And there you can see the belt. Just wrapped tight. You can tell he tried to ride it a couple times. So we'll cut that out of there. Man, that's wrapped up. Alright, there's what was left of the belt here. Just in shreds. We got the secondary clutch cleaned off. All the rope out of it. The clutch still looks good, so that's awesome. But yeah, that was in rough shape. That was really tied up in there. Alright, looking at the primary clutch. See those things right there rolling around in there? So something broke. See that? Ooh. All those rollers coming out. These were just in there. See all the gunk in here. You can see the whole belt in here. I don't get how you couldn't hear that, you know? We'll clean this whole, oh, there's part of the belt too. We'll clean this out, blow that out with the air compressor. Just disintegrated it. Must have forced out those rollers. Alright, more belt came out. I blew through the tube right here and a bunch came out of there. So we got everything blown out and cleaned up. I mean, it's just disgusting. We can reassemble the clutch now. You can see it's all clean in there now. So these little rollers drop right in, like so. And we can just put those all the way around. Good thing is we weren't missing any. Those go in like that. They all look to be in good shape. And this thing is for those little grommets on it. Those are gonna go on like that. Like so. Tighten down. Find the groove here, like so, and then the nut goes on. Alright, let's get some fresh oil down here. This thing takes 2.9 quarts, so let's get some oil going in here. Alright, let's see if the clutch moves here. Oh, jeez. Clutch is moving. So if there's no resistance from the belt, those little ball things get all messed up in there. So I think it needs that resistance from the belt when it first grabs. So that's why those things keep on coming out. There's just too much space in there. So we'll get that back out and fixed. But I think that was our problem. Pretty sure the clutch is moving. So I'm guessing if this thing had a belt on it, the quad would be moving. So that is awesome. So now we have to look for a belt for it. All right, we're gonna try to get an impact in here. See if we can get this starter out without moving the pipe out of the way. Hopefully Suzuki designed it so you can. So there's a ground right there on the starter. Alright, both bolts are out. Let's see if I can pry this out of here. I have to pound that out. Alright, she's coming. There we go. So this wire has to get disconnected in there. Alright, I had to cut the cable. That nut's like welded on there. It would not come out. Alright, let's see if it spins. It spins freely. Let's just hook up a battery to it and see if it works. Maybe it wasn't getting enough voltage. Here we go. Oh, that works? What the heck? Huh. So that definitely works. That's interesting because it was not working on the machine. Alright, we're testing the cable going to the starter right here, just to make sure we're getting 12 volts. Let's see, we'll ground this out to the engine where it grounds out to the starter. See if we have a good ground. Click the start button, got 11.9 volts. And you'd hear the starter going at 11.9 volts, so something's going on. Alright, so I've got the starter hooked up here to the cable going to the positive and then the negative going to the negative. So when we hit the button, it should start. I don't know why it was not before. Yeah, you can see it's working perfectly. So maybe it just wasn't getting a good ground. But we'll reinstall that and see if that works. Alright, we got the starter hooked back up. So let's see if it works now. Alright, here we go. Alright, so by some small miracle, now the starter works apparently. What the heck? Must have wiggled something loose in there. Wow, that works great. So starter's fixed. That was easy. I think we just moved the contact right here a little bit because that nut was stuck on there, so I wonder if it wasn't getting good positive to the starter. I don't know, but something we did fixed it, and now it's starting up so easily. So much better than pull starting it. Fires up instantly. Alright, on to the next problem. So right here, the shifter, you can see it doesn't do anything. See, it doesn't move that thing back and forth. So there's a pin that's broken in there. Alright, I got this whole shifting mechanism off. And you can see this is the pin that was missing. So I've got a bolt in here. I'm just gonna bolt that in. And then that should work now. Oh yeah. So hopefully that's in the right spot. There's the other pin. That one, but that's like the same thing, so we'll just bolt that in. I think that's gonna be fixed. We'll try it out. All right, check this out. Reverse, neutral, forward. Cool. All right, that's fixed. All right, another problem. The parking brake doesn't work. You can see there's a bunch of slack in there. You can see when you try to move the lever doesn't pull. So the lever is actually stuck back here. And I'm guessing he just backed these out all the way so that he could pound this back, but that's stuck. So that's not moving. is a 30mm nut. Alright, this plate should come off. It's moving a little bit. Alright, just need a little bit more force. Almost off. There we go. There we go. Some rust in there. Alright, now this can come off. Hopefully. Alright. Bunch of powder coming out of it. You can see down here. Brake pads are still there. Whew. Yeah, look at that. That was broken off of there. So definitely need some new brake shoes here. Let's see why it was binding up. And it's just so crusted in there. There we go. Keep the springs. I don't know if the new ones come with springs or not. Keep those. That needs to be lubed up. That's super sticky in there. See, it doesn't move at all. And we're gonna pound that through without messing up the splines here. That's the part that wasn't moving. So we'll clean up the shaft here, lube that up, clean up the inside shaft area there. Alright, we got some penetrating oil down there. We cleaned up the shaft with a wire wheel. Now you can see how easy that moves in there. So we'll work at that for a bit and then grease that up. Alright, back brake is fixed. Now the lever actually pulls down. Brake levers are gonna work once we get those brake pads in. Everything springs back nicely, so that is awesome. On to the plastics. We're gonna try plastic welding some of these plastics. You can see the big cracks in it. Just try to get it somewhat presentable here. Make it a little bit better. There's a bunch of cracks in it, so we'll work on that for a bit. See if we can get it looking like something. This one's really bad back here. Alright, there's a pretty big crack right here. I'm gonna try to repair. Gonna turn red, and then you can push it into the plastic here. Alright, you can see the crack right here. It's fixed. The one right here that was disconnected is fixed. The one right here is fixed. Goes all the way back here. See how strong that is now. Here's the back side with all the staples in it. Back over here. So that whole fender is now good to go. I've got this whole one to go yet. Get that repaired. And a couple front spots, and then this is going to be as good as it's going to get. Alright, all the plastics are done. Crack right there fixed. Crack in the front fixed. Big crack there fixed. So it's looking pretty decent, way better than it was. So everything is fixed that I can fix without getting the belt. And unfortunately the people don't have the belt in stock, so I'm going to have to order it online and wait like a week to get that in. So we have to order up a belt, we have to order up a set of brake pads or brake shoes for the rear tire here. And then what else do we have to get here? A seat cover. The seat is just duct taped on. You can see a nice duct tape seat cover. We'll get rid of that. And then we need a new tire for this thing. He gave us the old one. The old rim at least we can use, but the tire shot, he said it goes flat instantly. And then he's got another set of the smaller ones to go with it. And a tube for those, but we'll put the bigger ones on. So it looks like we have to order up a, let's see, 25 by 10 through 12 tubeless tire for that thing. So once we get the tire on, we should be good to go. So luckily it was a pretty easy fix, just being the belt. Then we can ride this thing for the first time. So hopefully the new belt fixes it and it moves perfectly, goes into gear, and everything will be perfect on it, except for of course the plastics, which I wish we could get some new plastics for it. That would help the machine look a lot better, but what can you do? At least it's a low mileage machine, so we shouldn't have any engine problems at all, I wouldn't think. And we got pretty lucky on this one, having it just be the belt. Definitely could have been a full engine rebuild on this, considering we paid $250. Taking a big gamble, but I think it paid off. It's coming along. The winch works, the lights work, everything else works, except it doesn't move until we can get that belt on there. So stay tuned for that video coming up next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Until next time, we are out.